What if I told you that 3 simple daily habits can significantly lower your cancer risk? Would you be up for the challenge? Years ago, doctors thought cancer was inevitable, that we would all get cancer eventually. We also used to think that cancer was mostly genetic. Now we know that less than 10% of all cancers come from inherited genes. And that's a game changer because it means we have the power to make diet and lifestyle choices that make a massive difference in preventing cancer or keeping it from coming back. But even still, I wanted to know which daily habits were the most effective at preventing cancer. So I did a deep dive, reading study after study, and discovered 3 habits that consistently stand out as being the most effective. And these aren't extreme, they're not complicated. In fact, I've been doing them for over 10 years now, and I can honestly say that they've turned me into a healthier, happier version of myself, so I'm so excited to share these with you. I promise I'm not going to tell you to go vegan. I will not tell you to start training for a marathon. These are small but really powerful things you can do each day, especially if you're in a chaotic season of life right now. So the number 1 habit that can lower your cancer risk by 60% is to move your body for at least 30 minutes a day. And before you roll your eyes, hear me out. This doesn't mean you have to do an aerobics class or run 30 minutes a day. You just have to move your body enough to get your heart rate up and blood pumping. You can go on a brisk walk and get your heart rate up. And hopefully you sweat a bit because that's really good for you too. But if you currently already exercise every day, you're not rolling your eyes because you know how much it helps, how much better you feel. It changes your mood, gives you more energy, balances your hormones, and makes you feel proud that you've accomplished something, right? It's great for your joints, it makes your bones stronger. It's great for mental clarity, it lowers cortisol, which is the stress hormone that makes you want to yell at your husband. It really helps with everything. And if there was ever a time in your adult life when you were more active than you were now, I bet you recognize that you felt better back in those days. A lot of people say, sure, I used to exercise every day, but that was back when I was in college and I'm not that young anymore. No. I was out on a jog the other day and I saw a woman running through the park. She must have been in her mid-70s. And I thought, wow, when I'm 70, I hope to still be running through this park. Now it's one thing to say, okay, yeah, I'll try to start moving more. But how can you actually follow through with it and make sure that it happens? Well, the secret is to do something you actually enjoy. Dancing, yoga, playing with your dog, it doesn't have to be intense. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a lifelong commitment to doing the exact same thing every day. You just need to start prioritizing movement because it really does make a huge difference in keeping cancer away. Okay, the second habit that will significantly lower your cancer risk, and this may come as a bit of a shock, but it's to cut back on snacking, especially late night snacking. And if you love your snacks, you probably hate me right now. But once I tell you the science behind it, you may think twice about reaching for those chips or crackers when you're bored. The body is amazing because it's always trying to heal itself and detoxify itself from all of the bad things we eat or the toxins we're exposed to. But here's the thing, digesting food takes up a lot of energy. So much so that when your body's not busy digesting, it has more energy to put towards healing and detoxifying itself. And this is why fasting has a lot of benefits, but don't worry, I'm not telling you to do a 3-day juice fast here. I'm just saying that now we know the longer you go between meals, the better, and the easiest way to do this is by cutting back on snacking. This can help your body fight cancer in 2 different ways. First of all, when you're not eating, your body starts a process called autophagy. This is when it naturally cleans out damaged or abnormal cells like cancer cells or precancerous cells. It's really amazing. The second reason that cutting back on snacking is so effective is that it helps to stabilize your blood sugar levels. And this is really important. As soon as we eat, our blood sugar levels start to go up and then they start to go down. And if we're constantly eating throughout the day, our blood sugar levels are constantly going up and down, and this creates inflammation and insulin resistance. 2 key drivers of cancer, not to mention diabetes, obesity, and heart disease too. So the bottom line is the longer you can go between meals, the more time your body has to repair itself, get rid of inflammation, and stabilize your blood sugar levels. Now you may be wondering, isn't it better to eat small meals throughout the day rather than 3 big meals? That's what a lot of the experts say. But more and more research is now showing that fasting, intermittent fasting, or even just going longer between meals is much better for your health and cancer prevention. But trust me, I know it's easier said than done. It's not fun being hangry. Have you ever been at a restaurant where everyone else gets their food except you? Suddenly you're ready to take down whoever forgot your meal. We've all been there. Our bodies are really good at telling us when we're hungry, right? Our stomach tells us right away, and we're pretty good at listening to our body when we need to eat, but we don't always listen to it when we actually don't need food. Being hungry is not the only reason we eat. We snack when we're bored, sad, stressed, or there's a charcuterie board right in front of us. So the good news is, you don't have to quit snacking cold turkey. A good place to start is just by noticing why you're eating. Are you actually hungry, or is it just a habit or something else? And just experiment by starting to stretch the time out between your meals. And the best way to stay full for longer is to eat enough protein with each meal. Also, you may already know this, but when you don't drink enough water, it's really easy to feel hungry when you're actually just dehydrated. And drinking water also helps your body to detoxify and lower inflammation. I used to hate drinking water, and I know a lot of other people do too. So now I always add a piece of lime, cucumber, or lemon, and it really helps. I also carry a massive water bottle everywhere I go because I know that if it's there, I'll be way more likely to drink it. Okay, let's move on to habit number 3 for cancer prevention. This one might surprise you as well, but I promise there's science behind it. But it's to actively try to worry less. And trust me, again, I know way easier said than done, but I'll tell you some great tips that I use myself. When we worry too much, it raises our cortisol levels. And there's a ton of reasons why having high cortisol levels is horrible, not just for your mental health, but for your physical health too. In terms of preventing cancer or keeping it from coming back, having too much cortisol does the exact opposite of what we want. It weakens our immune system, promotes inflammation, and throws our blood sugar and hormones out of whack. So although it is human nature to worry, it does us way more harm than good. Now they say that women tend to worry more than men in general. I'm not saying I totally agree with this, but I think as women, we try to be superheroes. We worry about our health, our family's health, cleaning the house, what we look like, what we don't look like, what we did or didn't do yesterday or 10 years ago. So I have 3 effective strategies to help you worry less. Obviously, your worries won't completely disappear, but these strategies will shift your focus and lighten your mental load. Number 1 is to do something that allows you to be creative. And this has been scientifically proven. I can't remember where I read this, but someone once said that creativity is like oxygen for your soul. Even if you don't consider yourself a creative person, think about it. When you're painting, knitting, writing, even baking, your mind becomes absorbed in the task. It's like a mental vacation that reminds you who you are outside of your stress and responsibilities. And creativity isn't about being perfect. It's about feeling more alive, more relaxed, more like you. So if you've ever wanted to take a painting class, experiment in the kitchen, or just try something new, this is your sign to go for it. Okay, strategy number 2 to help you worry less, it's again moving your body. Physical movement releases hormones that feel good, especially if you combine that movement with music that you love, because music triggers emotions in you. So if you combine movement you enjoy plus music you love, you create an incredible mix of emotions and you can't help but feel happier. When you have these type of feel-good emotions, your thoughts naturally become more positive and your cortisol levels drop. So it's a win-win. Now the 3rd strategy I use to worry less, and you likely already know this one as well, but may need a friendly reminder, is to prioritize your sleep. Sleep is the ultimate mental reset. If you're anything like me, being tired makes everything worse. I'm more irritable, less rational, and definitely more prone to worrying, especially if you're going through something difficult right now, like cancer, or maybe you're dealing with stuff from the past. That's all going to cause you even more stress, and you are more likely to have high cortisol levels. So if anything, prioritizing your sleep every night is something simple you can do to lower your cortisol levels. I actually have another video on how to get better quality sleep at night and feel less tired throughout the day, which I'll link for you below to watch next. But by moving your body more, snacking less often, and just being more aware of how much you're worrying are 3 relatively simple but very effective things you can do every day to keep cancer away. Thanks for watching. I'm leaving you with another video to watch next that I think you'll enjoy, and I'll see you next week.